Go.
Right. This is a song that I have been singing for years and years. Never heard anybody else sing it until quite recently. But it's one that I either use to start a night or to finish a night. So that's an interesting thought. I'll start tonight with it. And it's got a message for these times. Now is the dark time and the cold time too. Gather round, circle of friends. The comfort of singing voices will see us through until the dark time ends. Until the dark time ends. Until the dark time ends. We need the comfort of singing voices until the dark time ends. We give each other company. Gather round, circle of friends, singing in sweet harmony until the dark time ends. Until the dark time ends. Until the dark time ends. We need the comfort of singing voices until the dark time ends. In a cage of bone we keep our wings. Gather round, circle of friends. If we would fly, then we all must sing until the dark time ends. Until the dark time ends. Until the dark time ends. We need the comfort of singing voices until the dark time ends. For now is the dark time and the cold time too. Gather round, circle of friends. The comfort of singing voices will see us through until the dark time ends. Until the dark time ends. Until the dark time ends. We need the comfort of singing voices until the dark time ends. Until the dark time ends. Song by Alouette, Iselin from New Hampshire.
Very, very, very
Lovely
apt.
song.
Yeah,
Dave-
lovely song.
Says
Very
it
apt.
all, doesn't it?
Say again.
Yeah.
Yeah, great song for the time of year and the general circumstances, David. Thank you.
Where
So
did
Tara is coming up next, and after Tara, one from Bob Askew, please.
Go ahead. So today we'll be singing a French song
called La Laine des Moutons. Here we go. I think it's kind of well, it's an old traditional one anyway. Here we go.
La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui l'attendons. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui l'attendons. Tendons, tendons, la laine des moutons.
Tendons, tendons, la laine des moutons. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la lavons. Laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la lavons. Lavons, lavons, la laine des moutons. Lavons, lavons, la laine des moutons. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la cadenne. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la cadons. Cadons, cadons, la laine des moutons. Cadons, cadons, la laine des moutons. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la filons. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la filons. Filons, filons, la laine des moutons. Filons, filons, la laine des moutons. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la tisons. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la tisons. Tisons, tisons, la laine des moutons. Tisons, tisons, la laine des moutons. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la chantons. La laine des moutons, c'est nous qui la chantons. Chantons, chantons, la laine des moutons. Chantons, chantons, la laine des moutons.
Well done.
lovely? Bien chanté.
Great.
Lovely to hear that. That was not just Tara, but Charlie as well. And good to start the bilingual nature of the evening early. We'll see how many languages we can squeeze in. Great stuff. So Bob Askew is our next singer. Could everyone please mute yourselves? Thank you. So we'll have two Bobs in a row. So Bob Askew followed by Bob Bossin.
Well, I'll contribute the language of Hampshire then, I think, because I'm down here in Hampshire. It's a rather gloomy time of year, and I thought I'd sing The Seeds of Love. This was collected from a man called Thomas Bowers, just down the road from me here in Titchfield, well over 100 years ago, by George Gardner. And Thomas Bowers used to work in a farm a couple of miles outside the village, but later on, to get a bit more money, he moved into the tannery, which is a vile place to work if you know anything about him. And I think he was remembering the flowers of the countryside when he sung this song, just as I am now in this gloomy time of year. I sowed the seeds of love with a flower in the spring. Here's April, here's May, and likewise June. Hear the small birds sweetly sing. Hear the small birds sweetly sing. My garden is well perfumed with sweet flowers everywhere. I had not the chance for to choose for myself, oh, the flower that I would wear. Oh, the flower that I would wear. The gardener was standing by. I asked him to choose for me. He chose me the lily, the violet, and the pink. But these I refused all three. But these I refused all three. I forsook the lily flower because it fades so soon. The violet and the pink I often overlook. I vowed I would stay till June. I vowed I would stay till June. In June comes the red rosebud, and that is the flower for me. Oft I'm snatched at the red rosebud, but gaineth the willow tree, but gaineth the willow tree. The willow it will twist, the willow it will twine. Oft times the young girl, I wish I was in that young girl's arms, which once had this true love of mine, which once had this true love of mine. Is a due to all false young girls, which caused me to come. Sorry, I'll start with that one again. Is a due to all false young girls. No more of them I won't touch. I lift this whole world to plainly see that I loved one flower too much. I loved one flower too much. Is a due to all faded flowers, which cause me to complain. But the grass that is oft times trod underfoot, given time it'll rise up again. Given time it'll rise up again. Thomas Bowers.
Thank you, Bob. That was the first Bob from Hampshire. I don't know where Bob Bossin is from, but he's about to come on. He can introduce himself. And I think this is your first time at Sharps in Isolation, Bob. So welcome if it is, and welcome even if it isn't. And after Bob, one from Chris Lamb, please. So Bob, don't forget to unmute yourself to start off.
Okay. This is my first time. Can you hear me? Is this?
Yes,
I'm
hear you
unmuted.
fine.
Okay. This is my first time at Sharps online. I have been to Sharps when visiting London, and I'm on Gabriola Island, British Columbia. This piece, this is a folk-ish song. You need to know just a couple things. In the Yukon, which is in the northwest of Canada, kind of between Alaska and British Columbia, until after the Second World War, almost all the traffic from the time white people first got there was on the river in these flat-bottomed river boats, two of which were the Casca and the Whitehorse. And then in the Second World War, the Americans put through a military highway to join the 48 states to Alaska, which they opened to the public, I think in 1949, at which point a lot of the old riverboats, well, basically all of them were pulled up on the shore. And two of them, the Casca and the Whitehorse, were on the shore right on the bank of the river in the city of Whitehorse for about 20 years. And then around 1970, there was a fire and they burnt down. And this is called The Casca and the Whitehorse Burned Down. We could smell the smoke as soon as we awoke on the wind blowing east from town. I put the coffee on, a thermos took along when the Casca and the Whitehorse burned down. The city volunteers pumped water from the river to try and hose the old boats down. But the flames, they rose so high, and the old wood was so dry, the Casca and the Whitehorse burned down. Fire, he cried, fire on the river, muddy waters rolling deep and brown. An old man cried out The city volunteers pumped water from the river to try and hose the old boats down. But the flames, they rose so high, and the old wood was so dry, the Casca and the Whitehorse burned down. Old Captain Jim O'Hara was sitting in a lawn chair, and damned if that old man didn't laugh. He pointed to the smoke pouring from the stack, said, "When did you last see that? 15 cord to Dawson, 100 coming back. Look down how the muddy waters roll. The dipping of the wheel, raising rainbows in the wake. Hear that old steam whistle blow. Fireweed, the perfume of the smoke. Muddy waters rolling deep and brown. Pink ladies down in Dawson all come out to meet the boat when the Casca and the Whitehorse come down.
And what a great guitar sound too.
Yes.
Stuff, Bob. Thanks for bringing that this evening. So Chris Lamb is our next singer. After Chris, I think we'll have time for one more song before we have our special guests. So it will be a song from Alison Frosdick. So Chris and then Alison.
Okay, Amanda's wonderful spreadsheet has told me that I hadn't sung this song since lockdown began, which rather surprised me. And as it's a short song, it seems suitable for this evening. In common with the song I sang last week, Iceland, it's about a guy who is in desperate straits and resorts to thievery to feed his family. I am a brisk lad whose fortune is bad, and I am most wonderful poor. Indeed, I intend me fortune to mend, and to build a house down on the moor, me brave boys, to build a house down on the moor. The farmer do keep fat oxen and sheep, and a neat little nag on the downs. In the middle of the night, when the moon do shine bright, there's a number of work to be done, me brave boys. There's a number of work to be done. I'll creep all around on another man's ground, and I'll take a fat sheep for me own. With the aid of me knife, I'll end of its life, and then I will carry it home, me brave boys. And then I will carry it home. The children will pull the skin from the ewe, and I shall be where there is none. When the constable do come, I'll stand with me gun, and I'll swear all I have is me own, me brave boys. I'll swear all I have is me own. The Sheepstealer.
Great stuff, and thanks for mentioning the spreadsheet. It's gone down very well. Probably the first time a spreadsheet has ever sparked so much enthusiasm. As a reminder of the spreadsheet, which is where we keep track of who's sung all our songs, could you please put the details of your songs in the chat for everyone to see, so that David or whoever's doing it has those to hand? It really helps with making the list. Okay, so Alison Frosdick is our next singer, and we might depends how long Alison sings for. We might just squeeze Storm in after Alison, but we'll see how time goes. Okay, Alison, over to you.
Thank you. The thing about staying with one's parents is that you don't get an awful lot of choice as to what's on the telly. But I ended up watching a programme yesterday about the building of the canals with the wonderful Fred Dibner, who was talking about the Leeds to Liverpool canal. But it put me in mind of the Settle and Carlisle Railway and navvies generally, and a song that I haven't sung for a while, which is written by Alan Bell for a radio programme about the Settle and Carlisle Railway, I believe, called Alice White. Oh, my name is Alice White. I'd have you all to know that I left my father's farm a long time ago. Well, me mother called me silly lass, said I'd rue the day that I followed on the heels of the navvies. My first man, Dandy Jack, was handsome, young and fine, and I loved him right through England as we tramped from line to line. We lived in shanty houses, had lodgers and children 3, and I worked to feel the needs of the navvies. When Dandy Jack was killed beneath a fall of stones, well, I wept and cursed the day that ever I was born. But me children needed feeding, and many men looked at me. So I jumped the brush and stayed with the navvies. Time came I was deserted when me children numbered 5. So I took me yet another man to keep us all alive. And since I've known so many men, they call me Alice Free, 'cause I've lived my life away with the navvies. So now I'm growing old and grey before me time, with the work and childbearing as we tramped from line to line. But I'll never forget poor Dandy Jack, lying so cold in his grave. He's the only man I loved of the navvies.
Song love.
Lovely.
Beautifully done, Alison, and just as well your parents watched that programme and reminded you of the song. Okay, so we have time, I think, for one more song before Cohen comes on. I'm sorry, got the order wrong, so it's actually Graham Baldwin next. I hope you're ready, Graham. It's over to you, and then we will have Cohen.
Okay, well that was sprung on me a bit quick, but never mind. So I'm going to do a song from my hometown, which is the West Midlands, a home area. I actually come from Birmingham, but this is a song from Dudley, sung by a Dudley poet called Ben Boucher. And it dates from the Chartist struggles of the 1840s. And of course it's called the Chartist Anthem. For those that don't know about the Charter, the People's Charter was drawn up in 1837, demanding more of a say in the masses of workers then slaving in the factories and living in hovels. So here we go. 100 years, 1,000 years, we're marching on the road. The going isn't easy yet. We've got a heavy load. We've got a heavy load. The way's blind with blood and sweat, and death sings in our ears. The time is marching on our side. We will defeat the years. We will defeat the years. We men of bone, of shrunken shank, our only treasure doth. Women who carry at their breast heirs to the hungry earth. Heirs to the hungry earth. But yet a strain is sounding loud in music fresh and clear, and the nation's heart is besting proud that glorious sound to hear, that glorious sound to hear. Speak with one voice. We march, we rest, and march again upon the years. Sons of our sons are listening to hear the Chartist cheers, to hear the Chartist cheers. 100 years, 1,000 years, we're marching on the road. The going isn't easy yet. We've got a heavy load. We've got a heavy load.
In the playoffs.
Great stuff, Graham. Thank you very much. And it's over to Cohen now. So a huge welcome to Cohen. We normally have a guest at Sharps about every month, but Cohen is actually the first proper guest we've had at Sharps in isolation. So a great way to start off the return to having guests, and really looking forward to hearing him sing and perform with multiple wind-based squeezy instruments. So Cohen, over to you.
Hello. I presume you can all hear me? Yep, speaking very loudly from my bedroom here in North Wales. It's great to be here virtually at the Sharps Folk Club. I was thinking back, and I was last at Sharps in January of 2018. So it's been nearly 3 years. But yeah, it's great to be back, albeit virtually. I'll start with a traditional American version of an English song about a group of pirates off the coast of Barbary. It's a song called New Barbary. Well, it's of 2 jolly ships from out of England came, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we One the Prince of Russia and the other the Prince of Wales, cruising down along the coast to the new Barbary. Well, look aloft, did our Johnny Captain cry, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. Look ahead, look astern, look a weather, look a lee, and look down along the coast to the new Barbary. Well, there is no ship astern, there is no ship a lee, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. But there's a lofty ship to windward, sailing fast and free, cruising down along the coast to the new Barbary. So hail her, the Johnny Captain cried, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. Are you some man of war or a privateer, said he, cruising down along the coast to the new Barbary. Well, I am not no man of war and I'm no privateer, said he, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. But I am a salt sea pirate, seeking for me fee, cruising down along the coast to the new Barbary. So broadside, a long time we did lay, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we, till at length the Prince of Wales shot the pirates' mast away, cruising down along the coast to the new Barbary. So for quarter, the jolly pirate cried, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. The quarter will give you, will sink you in the tide, cruising down along the coast to the new Barbary. Well, with broadside and cutlass we fought for hours 3, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we, till their ship was their coffin, their grave was the sea, cruising down along the coast to the new Barbary.
Well done, man.
Left foot not quite as comfortable wearing Curtis. But then the act goes, all you need to do is just make sure.
Right, now my mic's back on. Yes, that was New Barbary, as I say, a traditional song collected over in Vermont. Now, I really enjoyed hearing that West Midlands song from Graham just a moment ago. I'm going to play a West Midland tune now. This is a traditional jig. Well, it's 3 traditional jigs. The first one is very aptly called A Trip to Birmingham. And then it's followed by a traditional jig called The Pole Booth and another one called Tekeli. And these jigs feature on my debut solo album, which is called Alouette Songster, which I released about 3 years ago now. And excuse me, at the start of this year, I realised I was getting low on copies of Alouette Songster, And I looked in the diary and I thought, oh, I've got loads of gigs this year. I should reorder some copies of Outweigh Songster to sell at the gigs. So I ordered 1,000 copies. And then about a week later, all the gigs went in the bin. So I've got 1,000 copies sitting under the bed just over there. So if anyone wants to help me out, you can buy copies of it from my band's website, which is grannysatic.org.uk/shop. I would like to be able to see my bedroom floor by at least this time next year. So anyway, this is a trip to Birmingham.
And hurrah for
Thank you very much. So yes, that was a trip to Birmingham, as I say, from my debut solo album, Outweigh Songster. And that name, Outweigh Songster, it comes from a quote from the folk song collector Lucy Broadwood. And I wrote my undergraduate dissertation on Lucy Broadwood, and actually wrote it while I was making the solo album. If anyone tells you writing a dissertation and making an album at the same time is a good idea, they are lying. to you. But I thought, as a tribute to Lucy Broadwood, I would name the album after her, as I did Outway Songster. And one of Lucy Broadwood's greatest contributions to the English folk song movement was discovering a chap called Henry Burstow, who was a traditional singer who lived down in Horsham. And Henry Burstow was a shoemaker and a bell ringer. And he had a repertoire of approximately 400 songs, which is very, very impressive. And Lucy Broadwood collected somewhere in the region of 40 or so songs from Henry Burstow. And then Ray Vaughan Williams subsequently went along and collected another couple of dozen. And this one falls in the latter category. It's one of the songs that Ray Vaughan Williams got from Henry Burstow, a song called The Nude, and there's a chorus that comes round. I've noticed a couple of you zooming along. That's what it's called, isn't it? Singing along over Zoom, zooming along. So if you feel like zooming along to this, the chorus, which comes round 3 or 4 times every few verses, is alas, and oh what sad cruelty, for it's so the king's duty lies heavy on me. I am a young farmer, and Johnny is my name. In Oxfordshire I lived when I followed my team. My friends, they turned against me, they forced me to go to seek a new master, which proved my woe. When I came to the statutes in grief and despair, who should I meet but my sergeant was there. He asked me and enlisted me, he did tell me so. And it's to the king's barracks I was forced to go. It's alas, and oh what sad cruelty, for it's all the king's duty lies heavy on me. Well, the first time I deserted, I thought myself free. Informed on by my comrade, a deserter to be, I was quickly followed after and brought back with speed. I was handcuffed and shackled, heavy-ironed indeed. Court-martial was then the sentence they gave me, 110. Thence to the guard's house on a straw bed I did lie, and thence to the Hellguard the very next day. It's alas, and oh what sad cruelty, for it's all the king's duty lies heavy on me. Well, the next time I deserted, I thought myself free. Informed on by my sweetheart, a deserter to be, I was quickly followed after and brought back with speed. I was handcuffed and shackled, heavy ironed indeed. Court-martial was gold. The sentence they gave me, I had to be short, but then I tried the Duke of York, all in a coach-and six, and he said, bring me out that young man whose helper is fixed. Put his hand in his pocket, he drew out £10. Said, take this, my young man, and go your way home. Take this, my young man, goodbye unto thee. For it's no more the king's duty lies heavy on thee. It's alas, alas, and oh, what's a cruelty? For it's so the king's duty lies heavy on me. But it's no more the king's duty lies heavy on me. Thank you very much. That was The New Deserter, as I say, collected by Rafe Vaughan Williams. And those of you that follow me on social media and whatnot will know that as well as having 1,000 copies of my previous album, I've got a new album in the works. I recorded it back in August, and we should be hopefully releasing it early next year. So, and that song, The New Deserter, is one that's going to be on that album, as is this next song, which is also a song that was collected by Rafe Vaughan Williams, this time down in Suffolk. It's a song called The Brokendown Gentleman. When I was young and in me prime, about 24 years old, I spent me time in vanity along with the ladies of old, with silver buckles around me wrist and a cane all in me hand. No gentleman could me surpass, no farmer in the land, no farmer in the land. I kept a pack of good hounds, me boys and servants waiting on me. I did intend me money to spend, and that you shall plainly see. I kept a coach and 6 bay horses with hangers all about, with a golden saddle on each horse's back, ready to ride out, just ready to ride out. I took me coach and 6 bay horses, the races for to see. It's there I spent £10,000, and that was the ruin of me. As I was turning home again, me purse it did run small. It's there I became a broken down gentleman. That's the worst of it all, and that's the worst of it all. So then the landlord seized my lands and bailiffs he brought free. They took away all I had got, they swore that they would take me. Me wife at home she does lament, and the children round her cry, to think that I should lie in jail until the day that I die, until the day that I die. For to think that I should lie in jail till the day that I die, until the day that I Thank you very much. That was the Brokendown Gentleman, as I say, to be featured on my forthcoming album. Now, I've had a few projects over lockdown since all the gigs went in the bin. One of them has been catching up on about 3 years of missed practice. One of the cruel ironies of being a full-time musician is that you don't have any time to practice. Another one has been working on getting this beautiful new songbook finished and published. This is a book that I've been working on in collaboration with my friend Nick Dow for about 2 years now. It's a book called Southern Songster, and it's a book of about 120 previously unpublished songs from the Hammond and Gardner manuscripts. So these are all songs collected in the south of England, mainly Dorset and Hampshire, but a few from other places. And as I say, Nick invited me to be part of that project back in 2018. He wanted me to be the musical editor to sort of transcribe all the musical notation. And I thought, okay, that should be an easy job. I'll just carve out a couple of weekends maybe. But as I say, it took about 2 years to do. So there we go. The book came out in June, and again, there's many copies of it available on the Granny's Attic website, grannysattic.org.uk/shop. And I'm going to sing a song from it now. It's a song that was made very, very famous. I'm sure you'll all have heard a very definitive version by the young up-and-coming guitarist Nick Jones as track 1 to his Penguin Eggs album. And most of us, on seeing a song that had been performed by Nick Jones, wouldn't go near it with a 10-foot folk pole, you know, if it's been done so well. But I thought, you know, I'll go and I'll do as an un-Nick Jones version. He does this beautiful understated guitar accompaniment, so I'm going to do a very tasteless melodian accompaniment instead. So this is Canada I.O. from Southern Songster. And again, there's repeated bits at the end of each verse if you feel like zooming along. Canada I.O. It's all the gallant lady, all in her tender youth. She dearly loved a sailor, she loved him so in truth. And for to go to sea with him the way she did not know, she longed to see that pretty place called Canada-I-O. Called Canada-I-O, called Canada-I-O. She longed to see that pretty place called Canada-I-O. So she bargained with the sailor all for a purse of gold. Then straight away she took her and hid her in the hold. Said, we'll dress you up in sailor's clothes, with us you will go until we reach that pretty place called Canada, Royal. Called Canada, Royal. Called Canada, Royal. Until we reach that pretty place called Canada, Royal. Well, soon as her lover heard of this, he fell into a rage. Then with the whole ship's company, he was willing to engage. Said, well, tie your hands and feet, me love, and overboard you'll go. You'll never see that pretty place called Canada, Royal. Called Canada, Royal. Called Canada, Royal. And you'll never see that pretty place called Canada, Royal. Was he stepped up to the captain, and unto him did say, here's 500 guineas, all unto you I'll pay, if you will spare me life, sir, and let me with you go, until we reach that pretty place called Canada, Royal. Called Canada, Royal. Called Canada, Royal. Until we reach that pretty place called Canada, Royal. So then up spoke the captain, for a gallant man was he. He says, if you drown this fair maid, I'll hang it, you shall be. So we'll dress her up in sailor's clothes, and with us she will go, and she will see that pretty place called Canada, Royal. Called Canada, Royal. Called Canada, Royal. Until we reach that pretty place called Canada, Well, they'd not been in Canada but the space of half a year before the captain's married her and called her his own dear. She's dressed in silks and satins now, and she cuts a gallant show. She's one of the finest ladies down in Canada, Royal. In Canada, Royal. In Canada, Royal. And she's one of the finest ladies down in Canada, Royal. So come all of you young fair maids, wherever that you be, and follow up your own true love when he's bound away to sea. For if he do propose to you, the captain won't do so, and you'll be a captain's lady down in Canada, Royal. In Canada, Royal. In Canada, Royal. And you'll be a captain's lady down in Canada, Royal. In Canada, Royal. In Canada, Royal. And you'll be a captain's lady down in Canada, Royal.
Get our beer.
Thank you very much. So that was Canada I.O. from the new book Southern Songster. And I've got time for one more song before I go to bed. So I'll do that. This is, as I think Bob Askew mentioned in the chat, I saw it pop up while I was on verse 3, I think. That book Southern Songster is sort of part 5 to the Marrowbone series. And I'm going to leave you with another song that comes from a book in the Marrowbone series from, I forget which number it is, but The Wanton Seed. And it's a song, it's a 19th century song, but it was collected, this version, down in Hampshire. But it was originally written by a chap called Harry Clifton, who was a very, very prolific songwriter of the 19th century. And it's a song called The Country Carrier, and again, there's a nice chorus for you all to zoom along to. But I want to say thank you very, very much for having me for part 1 of my gig at Sharps. Part 2 is in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm sure there will be an email going round to let everyone know closer to the time. So yeah, this is part 1, and I just want to again say thank you very much for listening and joining me here in my bedroom in North Wales. I've had a real good half hour with you. And just a last plug for 1,000 copies of my solo album Under the Bed, and Granny's Attic CDs, and copies of Southern Songster, all available from granny'sattic.org.uk/shop. And you can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the usual places. So I'll leave you with this one. This is The Country Carrier. Thank you very much. Well, I am a country carrier and a jovial soul am I. I'll whistle and sing from morn till night and trouble I'll defy. I'll one who bears me company of work, she does her share. It's not me wife upon me life, it's me rattling old baby. Round go the wheels, trouble I'll defy. Jogging along together, me boys, me rattling there and I. Well, it's up and down the countryside, me where and I do go. The folks, they kindly greet us as we journey to and fro. The young ones, they'll all cheer, and the old ones stop and stare. They lift their eyes to great surprise to Joan, his old baby. Round go the wheels, trouble I'll defy. Jogging along together, me boys, be rattling there and I. Now it's when the load is heavy and she's strolling up the hill. I'll buy her sinuses tars, we work with such goodwill. She knows I love her well, because me with her spare. I'd rather hurt myself than hurt me rattling old baby. Round go the wheels, trouble I'll defy. Jogging along together, me boys, be rattling there and I. Now it's when the town reaches and she clatters all the stones. She lifts her hooves so splendidly, she's not one of your lazy drones. So clear the road when Joseph comes, you crawlers all beware. With driver smart and the carrier's cart, it's Joe and his old baby. Round go the wheels, trouble I'll defy. Jogging along together, me boys, we rattling there and I. Now I wouldn't change me station for the noblest in the land. I wouldn't be Prime Minister nor anything so grand. I wouldn't be an older man living luxury. There's not an estate would separate me rattling there and me. Round go the wheels, trouble I'll defy. Jogging along together, me boys, be rattling there and I. Round go the wheels, trouble I'll defy. Jogging along together, me boys, be rattling there and I.
Well done.
Stuff, Cohen. It is great to hear such virtuoso playing and singing at the same time from the same person. And we look forward to the second part of your gig on the 15th of December. So yes, an email will go out about that. But I was hoping, I know that you have a curfew where you live, but I was hoping that you might be able to grant us just one more song before we move on. So I hope you will do that for us. After you, I've just had a thought. I think we should go from the youngest participant this evening to the oldest, which means that after Cohen, could we have a song from John White, please? Cohen, are you up for it? I can't see you. I hope you are.
Hey, yeah. Have we got my audio back? Yep, good. Yes, I do have a 9 p.m. curfew, but I'm going to break it. But I will do a quick song. Just a couple of verses, this one. And I'll stick in 19th century mode. I recorded this song for the Stick in the Wheel compilation album From Here, and my track was recorded in Cecil Sharp House itself. So there you go. Nice thing to Sharp Folk Club. And the point of the album was that everyone was to sort of sing one of the first songs they learn, and this was mine. It's a lovely little music hall song, and I'm sure many of you will know it. So please feel free to sing along. Strolling so happy down Bethnal Green, this gay youth you might have seen. Tompkins and I with his girl in between, when it's oh, what a surprise. I praised the Conservatives frank and free. Tompkins got angry so speedily, all in a moment he handed to me two lovely black eyes, two lovely black eyes. Oh, what a surprise! Only for telling a man he was wrong, I got two lovely black eyes. Well, the next time I argued, I thought it best to give the Conservative side a rest. The merits of Gladstone I freely pressed, when it's so, what a surprise. The chap I met was a Tory true, nothing the Liberals right could do. This was my share of the argument too. Two lovely black eyes, two lovely black eyes. Oh, what a surprise! Only for telling a man he was wrong, I got two lovely black eyes. So the more you court I can hardly doubt, never on politics rage and shout. Leave it to others to fight it out, if you should be wise. Better, far better it is to let Liberals and Tories alone, you bet, unless you're willing and anxious to get two lovely black eyes, two lovely black eyes. Oh, what a surprise! Only for telling a man he was wrong, I got two lovely black eyes, two lovely black eyes. Oh, what a surprise! Only for telling a man he was wrong, I got two lovely black eyes.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff, Cohen. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. I can see in the chat you've gone down a storm, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you on the 15th of December. And what a great song to sing just before John White comes along and does something possibly from a similar tradition. So
Yeah.
it'll be John, then it'll be Judy Cook, because I know Judy often has to leave early. So John and then Judy.
Right, thank you, Amanda. Yes, I was going to follow a musical song, a song of a man who got married and wished that he hadn't. Why did I leave my little back room in Bloomsbury? Listen, all you single fellas, I've a little tale to tell. I am married and I know it. Don't the clothes I'm wearing show it? What with dodging blessed brokers, butchers, bakers in galore, oft I ask myself the question, what did I get married for? Why did I leave my little back room in Bloomsbury, where I could live on £1 a week in luxury? In my single days it was warm, but when I married Mariah, I jumped out of the frying pan into the blooming fire. In my single days, Lord Lummy, oh, the pleasures that I got. My landlady, dearest creature, studied me in every feature. Down at Brighton on a Sunday, I was quite the vital spark. Now I'll push a perambulator filled with kids all round the park. Why did I leave my little back room in Bloomsbury, where I could live on £1 a week in luxury? In my single days it was warm, but when I married Mariah, I jumped out of the frying pan into the blooming fire. Once I smoked the best Havanas, now I can't get threepenny shake. Once I dined and tipped the waiters, now I can't get fish and taters. Oh, to think of bygone pleasures, what a fool I must have been. I might as well be dead and married. Oh, God, save the blooming Queen. Why did I leave my little back room in Bloomsbury, where I could live on £1 a week in luxury? In my single days it was warm, but when I married Mariah, I jumped out of the frying pan into the blooming fire.
Absolutely, John.
It's all that musical.
Lovely stuff, John. And I don't know if you can see, my husband has joined me for the first time in Sharps and Isolation, and he was laughing a lot during that song. I can't understand why. Anyway.
Into the blooming fire. Oh, lovely.
Anyway, Judy Cook, you are our next singer, and after you it will be Storm, please.
Okay, great. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, all of you. And Cohen was great. Chorus twice first. What can you do with your days but work and hope? Let your dreams bind your work to your play. What can you do with each moment of your life but love till you've loved it away. Love till you've loved it away. What can you do with your days but work and hope? Let your dreams bind your work to your play. What can you do with each moment of your life but love till you've loved it away? Love till you've loved it away. It's so easy to dream of the days gone by. It's a hard thing to think of the times to come. But the grace to accept every moment as a gift is a gift that is given to some. What can you do with your days but work and hope? Let your dreams bind your work to your play. What can you do with each moment of your life but love till you've loved it away? Love till you've loved it away. There are sorrows enough for the whole world's end. There are no guarantees but the grave. But the times we have spent and the lives we have shared are pleasures too precious to save. What can you do with your days but work and hope? Let your dreams bind your work to your play. What can you do with each moment of your life but love till you've loved it away? Love till you've loved it away. Thank you.
Great stuff.
Song, and joined by Dennis as well. Welcome, Dennis. Great to hear you. And yeah, just lovely harmonies. So Storm is up next, and after Storm, one from Lisa Null, please.
These songs.
Are you there, Storm?
What?
Yeah, I just didn't hear you.
Okay.
You're good to go.
These songs I sing, they are not my own. They come from the sky and the earth and the stone. They come from some laughter, a joke and a sigh, all mixed together in a loved one's eye. All mixed together and jumbled around. They come to my mouth and give me this sound. Give me this sound and bid me to sing of ships on the rough seas and lambs in the spring, of roads to be traveled and friends that I've made, of time spent together and games that we've played. These songs I sing, they come from the rain and sunshine and rainbows, so sing them again. Sing them again with joy and with glee. They're a gift of the moment that's coming through me. These songs I sing, they are not my own. They come from the sky, from the earth and the stone. These songs I sing, they are not my own. They come from the sky, from the earth and the stone. Give thanks for living, thanks for a home, for time spent together and others alone. Thanks for a stone, a plant, the skies, the looks we find in other folks' eyes. Thanks for the future, thanks for the past, thanks for the bonds that hold us fast. Thanks for today, thanks for tomorrow, thanks for the joys, and thanks for the sorrow. Thanks for our learning from whatever's in store. Thanks for our knowing that there is more, more waiting in you, more waiting in me, better worlds to form, better people to be.
That followed on kind of nicely from Judy and Dennis's actually in tone. Thank you. Okay, so Lisa Null is our next singer, and after Lisa, one from David Jones, please.
Okay, well, glad to be back again after a short hiatus. I've been working up a lot of songs that I got from a woman named Carrie Grover, for whom many songs were collected in Maine. Carrie came from Nova Scotia and came from she was a great trove of Irish songs, also English songs, also Scots and Welsh songs. This one I'm pretty sure is an Irish song. They were almost all from her family. And I've spent a lot of time learning a lot of her songs. Now a lot of people are singing them. They comes from, and I'm getting ready to sing this for a concert that I'll be doing with some other wonderful singers of, I call them Celtic songs, Scots and Irish singers and American singers of songs and American variants of that kind of material that we'll be doing on, I'll put the information up in the chat for any of you Nighthawks. It'll be on December 6th at 7 o'clock our time. God knows what time that is, midnight your time. So I think you'd really have to be Nighthawks to come to my concert. But that's what I'm working on. And here's my chance to work one of those songs through. As I went out one evening fair, it was in the month of June. The birds were sweetly singing there, the flowers were in bloom. My love lay musing on the grass, all in her beauty fair. You would really have thought to see this lass, that the Queen of Love lay there. There are 12 long months all in a year, my true love she did say. 2 of them I would choose to wed, are the months of June and May. 1 of them I would choose to wed. The flowers begin to spring, and the other of them I would choose to wed. The birds begin to sing. I love my love, and I have no doubt that he loves me as well. The moment that you think, should he frown at my request, I would laugh at him as well. But should he prove constant, I would prove kind, just so we do agree. And if ever he comes for to change his mind, I would change as well as he. A young man's heart is hard to gain. They may all say what they will. The moment that you think that you have them won, they are further from you still. Riches and honor are all they want, and all they do require. A young maid who carries the keys of love. All young men will her admire. Musing.
Great stuff.
Lovely, Lisa, as always. So our next singer is going to be David Jones, and after David, could we have Rebecca Wolf to close the first half?
I just came in from running around chasing the dog, so I'm going to wait a while. Maybe you can move on. I'm a bit out of breath, but it was a great evening. I really enjoyed it. We've got 3 dogs and 10 million ducks and geese and everything, and he goes out and he likes to chase them. So.
Okay,
if Rebecca, you can come back to me later.
If Rebecca sings, can you sing after her, or do you want longer than that?
Okay, I'll sing after. I'll give it a shot.
So,
okay.
Rebecca, then you.
Hi. Nice to see everybody. I'll try and be brief. My dad called me up. Oh, I'm just going to move the screen so that I can see my dad. Sorry, I've lost him. There he is. Hello. I can't hear you, Dad. You're on mute. Don't worry. Stay on mute. It's fine. So Dad called me up a couple of days ago and said, "Oh, I've got a song for you. No, it was yesterday. I've got a song for you. I've got a song for you." And I was like, now, could that be the one that you called me up with 2 weeks ago and said, "I've got a song for you"? And yes, it was. So fortunately, I'd learned it already and he hasn't heard it yet. So I'm just playing this for him, really. Sorry to everyone else. And it's probably not very good. But this is Tell Old Bill. This morning, tell Bill when he gets home this evening. Tell Bill when he gets home he better leave him downtown with him alone. This morning, this evening, so soon. Oh, Bill's wife, she was baking bread this morning. Oh, Bill's wife, she was baking bread this evening. Oh, Bill's wife, she was baking bread when they came and told her a Bill was dead this morning, this evening, so soon. Oh no, that can't be so this morning. Oh no, that can't be so this evening. Oh no, that can't be so. We only left for town about an hour ago this morning, this evening, so soon.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rebecca. Feeling very mellow now. Yeah, great. I'm glad your dad gave you that song and gave it to you again. So actually, David Jones, you can have a reprieve if you like, because it's kind of time for the first half to stop. If you want a bit longer, let's have you on at the start of the second half. So we'll do that. This is the end of the first half. I'm going to pause the recording.
About 3 weeks. I'm going to sing Young Edwin in the Lowlands, and very bloody ballad. Come on, you wild young people, and listen to my song that I will unfold concerning gold that drives so many wrong. Young Emma was a serving gal, and she loved a sailor bold. He ploughed the main, much gold to gain for his love, so we've been told. He ploughed the main for 7 years and then returned it home. As soon as he set foot on the shore, unto his love did go. He went unto young Emma's house, his gold all for to show, that he had gained all on the main, all on the lowlands low. My father keeps a public house down by the side of the sea. There you shall go and stay this night, and there you'll wait for me. I will meet you in the morning, but don't let my parents know that your name, it is young Edwin, who ploughed the lowlands low. Well, Edwin, he sat a-drinking till time to go to bed. He little knew the sorrows that night around his head. And Edwin, he got into bed and he scarcely was asleep when Emma's cruel parents into his room did creep. They stabbed him and dragged him out of bed and to the sea did go. And they sent his body floating down all on the lowlands low. Oh, Father, where's the stranger came here last night to stay? Well, he is dead, no tales can tell, her father he did say. The fishes of the ocean swim o'er my lover's breast. His body rolls in motion, I hope his soul's at rest. The shells all on the seashore, as they're rolling to and fro, they remind me of young Edwin, who ploughed the lowlands low. So many a day she passed away and tried to ease her mind, crying, oh, my love is gone, and I am left behind. And Emma, Poor Emma to Bedlam was forced to go, and her shrieks were for young Edwin, who plowed the lowlands long. Lousy.
Great stuff, David. He stabbed and dragged him from his bed. Great stuff. Okay, Kathy Dent's our next singer, and after Kathy, one from Steve Andersaw, please.
I have one more to do from my November repertoire. Not a song, a poem, very short poem, quite unsettling, called November Eves. November evenings, damp and still, they used to cloak like Hampton Hill and lie down close on the grey plain and dim the dripping window pane and send queer winds like harlequins that struck our hearts so sharp and low that even a child could feel the woe. Now fire chased shadow around the room and tables and chairs grew vast in gloom. We crept about like mice while nurse sat mending, solemn as a hearse. And even our unlearned eyes half closed with choking memories. Is it the mist or the dead leaves or the dead men, November eves?
Short and sweet, Kathy. Have you had a complete? I think you've had a complete November repertoire this month. Looking forward to December. Okay, our next singer is Steve Andersaw, and after Steve, one from Riggy.
Right, I'm going to be accompanied by my colleague. This is Tadpole. Say hello, Tadpole. Tadpole and me are going to sing you a sea shanty, aren't we, mate? Okay. I've thrown away my toys, even my drum and train. I want to make some noise and plough the ranging main. I want to go to sea, I'll be a captain too. And when I do, how would you like to be my crew? On the good ship Lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop where bonbons play on the sunny shores of Peppermint Bay. Lemonade stands everywhere, cracker-jack bands fill the air, and there you are, happy landing on a chocolate bar. See the sugar bowl do the Tootsie Roll with the big fat devil food cake. If you eat too much, oh, you'll awake with the tummy ache. On the good ship Lollipop, it's a night trip. Into bed you hop and dream away. On the good ship Lollipop. Thank you.
I have no idea what to say after that, Steve. Amazing stuff. Never seen anything like it. What's happening next? Riggy's happening next, and after Riggy it will be Clive Wolf.
Okay, this can't, is it an octomon? I know it's tadpole in Japanese, but that is so fantastic. Thank you
Thank you, Steve. Let me turn this off and turn this on. Get it right. Okay, good. I learned this from at the cellar upstairs, Sheila's Club, from an Irishman, Thomas Murphy. No, Thomas McCarthy, excuse me. There's a sea between our hearts where the waves are cold and dark, and the echo of loneliness is strong. Well, my heart's caught in the tide of a love that you've denied, but you're colder than the sea we're drifting on. Oh, the sea between our hearts is dark and stormy, and the harbor of your love, it's the only haven for me. If I only had a chart to guide me to your heart, I'd anchor there and sail the sea no more. There's a shore of happiness that somehow we have missed, and now you're drifting off to someone new. So I haunt the lonely seas with a crew of memories, but the compass of my heart still points to you. Oh, the sea between our hearts is dark and stormy, and the harbor of your love, it's the only haven for me. If I only had a chart to guide me to your heart, I'd anchor there and sail the sea no more. There's a sea between our hearts where the waves are cold and dark, and the undertow of loneliness gets strong. My heart's caught in the tide of a love that you've denied, but you're colder than this sea we're drifting on. Oh, the sea between our hearts is dark and stormy, and the harbor of your love, it's the only haven for me. If I only had a chart to guide me to your heart, I'd anchor there and sail the sea no more. George Jones.
He's something really good on the cue. And then 2 squares land the wrong way round.
Lovely, Riggy. I like that kind of lovely sentimental kind of song. Okay, it's time for, who is it time for? Who did I say it was? It was time for Clive Wolfe, and after Clive, one from another Sharps regular, Pal Carter. Over to you, Clive.
Right, this is one that I used to sing. That woman that just sang for you not so long back, Rebecca Wolfe, who happens to be related to me. This is a song that I used to sing to her when I put her to sleep. Now, if I sang this last week or very recently, I'm sorry, but you're going to get it again. So there, Yabusa. Lord Carteridge's maiden name, and London was mine intent. When I wasn't present by a sea captain, on board a man of water I was sent. And on board a man of water I was sent. when I wasn't spreading by a sea captain, on board a man of war and I was sent. We sailed all on that night, and part of the very next day, and the first ship we spied was a French man of war, and at length we were forced to draw nigh, and at length we were forced to draw nigh, and the first ship we spied was a French man of war, and at length we were forced to draw nigh. Our captain was wounded full soon, and so many of his men, and our mainmast and rigging were all shot away, and at length we were forced to give in, and at length we were forced to give in, and our mainmast and rigging were all shot away, and at length we were forced to give in. On decks were covered with gore, and so loudly the cannons did roar, and I wished myself back with my true love in my lap. She might lie sleeping in my arms evermore. She might lie sleeping in my arms evermore. And I wish myself back with my true love in my lap. She might lie sleeping in my arms evermore. Here's adieu to my father and my friends, likewise my dear old mother too. I never should have crossed the salty so wide if it hadn't have been for you. If it hadn't have been for you, I never should have crossed the salty so wide if it hadn't have been for you.
I don't think I've heard you sing that before, Clive, at all. No, anyway, we can check the spreadsheet, obviously, now and find out if we've heard it recently. And speaking of the spreadsheet, those of you who can, please keep putting the names of your songs in the chat for everyone to see. So, okay, Pal Carter is up next, and after Pal, one from Rick Polly, please.
A Nick Jones song. Not a happy one though. Courting is a pleasure between my love and I. It's down in yon green valley I will meet her by and by. It was down in yon green valley, she is my heart's delight. Molly, lovely Molly, I will stay till the broad daylight. Going to church last Sunday, my true love she passed me by. I knew her mind was altered by the roving of her eye. Well, I knew her mind was altered to a lad of high degree. Molly, lovely Molly, your looks have wounded me. Up came her love Willie with a bottle in his hand, saying, drink this, lovely Molly, for our love will never stand. saying, drink this lovely molly, ere the bottle glass go free. 10 guineas I will wager that married we ne'er shall be. Never marry a fair young maid with a dark and a rolling eye. Just kiss her and you caress her, never tell her the reason why. Just kiss her and caress her till you cause her heart to yield. For a faint-hearted soldier will never gain the field. Farewell, Ballymorny, farewell, the sweet banshore. Farewell unto the Cusky braes, will I never see you more. America lies far away, the land I will go and see. And may all bad luck attend the one who parted my love and me.
Well done, pal.
Really good.
Lovely.
Oh, it's so sad. Martin Neil may have something to cheer us up with after Rick Polly, but I don't know. Anyway, Rick is next and then Martin. Was that confusing? It probably was. I got them in the wrong order in the first place. But is you next, Rick?
Yeah, well, I'm here, so I'm not confused, so confused that I can't sing. So here's a song that's my own, a reflection on being a working man. When I was a lad just learning my trade, they told me to wait and that I'd be well paid and support a large family on my future income. I waited and waited for that day to come, toiled year after year till my brain it went numb. Year after year till my brain it went numb. While the owners and lawyers and bankers and such, they get what they want and they don't leave us much. We play by their rules and stayed in the game. They promise us change, but it never came. Somebody tell me who is to blame. Won't somebody tell me just who is to blame? I was taken for granted and stuck in a groove. When they wanted more help, they said things would improve. If only I'd wait, time's on my side, and I'd feast on the wealth of the coming high tide. But I got only crumbs, had to swallow my pride. I got only crumbs and had to swallow my pride. While the owners and lawyers and bankers and such, they get what they want and they don't leave us much. We play by their rules and stayed in their game. They promised us change, but it never came. Somebody tell me who is to blame? The union rep told me that they had our backs. They'd fight toe-to-toe with the company hacks. But they signed an agreement that near froze my wage. And the government pension I'll get for old age, it's meager and small, a bloody outrage. So meager and small, it's an outrage. While the owners and lawyers and bankers and such, they get what they want and they don't leave us much. We played by their rules and stayed in their game. They promised us change, but it never came. For so many years I punched their time clocks. Soon I must leave their school of hard knocks. I look back and wonder why I played their game when again and again the results were the same. For not wising up, I feel foolish and shame. For not wising up, I bear part of the blame.
Thank you, Rick. Good to hear your self-penned songs. So our next singer is Martin Neil, and after Martin, I would like Neil Turner Nash to sing, please.
Righto. Yes, George Grossmith was a prodigiously hard-working Victorian entertainer. He's probably best known these days for the comic classic, The Diary of a Nobody, he wrote with his brother Whedon. Also, anyone who's into Gilbert and Sullivan will know that Grossmith created all the comic baritone parts in Gilbert and Sullivan, like the Major General in Pirates of Penzance and Coco in The Mikado and all those roles. But he also wrote a lot of songs, and this is one of them, you'll be surprised to learn. A fig for the set of the Lancers, a fig for the old quadrille. They may suit some kind of dancers, but their dullness makes me ill. A fig for the stately waltzing, which really is absurd. On the small cotillion unsuited to the million, I will not waste a word. You should see me dance the polka, you should see me cover the ground, you should see me coattails flying as I jump my partner round. When the band commences playing, my feet begin to go, for a rollicking, romping polka is the jolliest fun I know. I've danced it in the ballroom and then would dance it still. I've danced it in a small room, I've danced it on the hill. With every kind of partner in every kind of hall. I've even had to suffer by dancing with a duffer who couldn't do the step at all. You should see me dance the polka, you should see me cover the ground, you should see me coattails flying as I jump my partner round. When the band commences playing, my feet begin to go, for a rollicking, romping polka is the jolliest fun I know. I know I'm rather active and not devoid of grace, but still I am unattractive in feature, form and face. I have a simple fortune and lead a simple life. You know what an old maid is well, 14 of these ladies offer to be my wife. When they saw me dance the polka, when they saw me cover the ground, when they saw me coattails flying as I jumped my partner round, when the band commences playing, my feet begin to go, for a rollicking, romping polka is the jolliest fun I know. One of my rich relations was very fond of me. From him I'd expectations in the form of a legacy. I calculated surely on a house and an acre or two. So I went and got married, but me hopes miscarried, and what was I to do? For he left me a copy of a polka, and on the cover I found a sketch of me coattails flying as I jumped me partner round. When the band commences playing, my feet begin to go, for a rollicking, romping polka is the jolliest fun I know. But now I'm old and shaky, my back is bent, you see, me limbs are rather quaky and scarcely bear with me. I'm never asked to dances, I'm placed upon the shelf, but although I'm rheumatic, as long as I've an attic, I'll dance it by myself. You shall see me dance the polka, you shall see me cover the ground, you shall see me coattails flying as I hobble myself around. If I hear an organ playing, as long as me strength don't give, I'll dance that rollicking polka the longest day I live. You will see me dance the polka, you will see me cover the ground, as I carry my coattails flying, as I jump my partner round. When the band come in, me feet begin to go, for a rollicking, romping polka is the jolliest fun I know.
So the 78 with that one, it was Torwood nice and love dancing.
We had one person dancing anyway.
Great stuff, Martin, although I think Sharp's Folk Club is the jolliest fun, really, but never mind. Okay, so Neil Turner Nash, we haven't seen you here for ages, so welcome back. Looking forward to your singing, and after you it will be one from Mike Glick, please.
Yes, my diary's been very full these last few weeks. Anyway. Here's a due to old England, here's a due. Here's a due to 5,000 gold crowns. If the world had been banished before I was born, my troubles I'd never have known. Once I could lie in that bed of the very best down, but now I am glad of a bunch of wheat straw to keep my poor bones from the ground. Here's a due to old England, here's a due. Here's a due to 5,000 gold crowns. If the world had been banished before I was born, my troubles I'd never have known. Once I could drink of that beer in the very best glass, but now I am glad of cold water to quench my poor lips from the thirst. Here's a due to old England, here's a due. Here's a due to 5,000 gold crowns. If the world had been banished before I was born, my troubles I'd never have known. Once I could eat of that bread of the very best wheat, but now I am glad of a half-mouldy crust to give my poor body to eat. Here's a due to old England, here's a due. Here's a due to 5,000 gold crowns. If the world had been banished before I was born, my troubles I'd never have known. Once I could ride in my carriage, with servants to drive me along. But now I'm in prison so strong, not knowing which way to turn. Here's a due to old England, here's a due. Here's a due to 5,000 gold crowns. If the world had been banished before I was born, my troubles I'd never have known.
Well done, Neil.
Yeah, great. Welcome back.
Really want flipping next to those two, the two at the top towards you. Right.
Great to hear you again, Neil. I think somebody must be on the phone or something when they're unmuted. Anyway, great to have you back. I hope you will be with us again soon. So it will be Mike Glick next, and then one from Sheila Miller, please.
Hello, folks. I can't see me there. Can you see me? You can. Well,
Yes.
That's all that matters. All right. So last week was my first week at this shindig here, and with some of the people I spoke with probably know that I spent 12 days in the hospital as a result of COVID-19. Almost died the first few. But I'm here to tell about it. And this song is called The Bear, COVID Blues. And usually I have my son playing along with me, but if I summon up enough courage, I will try to sing his solo. He's a pretty amazing guitar player. Okay. The whole song is kind of a metaphor, just to give you a hint. There's a big old bear just rooting around, pacing the earth, his nose to the ground. His reach is forever, his desire unbound. Yes, there's a big old bear just rooting around. The idea for this song came from Pat Wichter, fine singer-songwriter, who called me up expressing sympathy. He had COVID as well, but he never went to the hospital. And he called the disease a bear, something that holds on to you, squeezes you tight, takes a long time to let go. He will freeze you and squeeze you, put his arms round your chest. He may leave you alive or bring about your death, but he'll leave an impression you'll never forget. Yes, you'll remember that bear till your very last breath. He used to be hunted even from birth. His days they grew short like his mother the earth. But now he's the hunter out there running free. We should have known better, but we just let him bleed. There's a big old bear just rooting around, roaming the earth, his nose to the ground. His reach lasts forever, his desire unbound. Yes, there's a big old bear just rooting around. You could hope he'll be kind, wanna make him your friend. He's the great force of nature and his mother's revenge, once a part of that bounty on which one could depend. But now he's the shadow who could bring on your end. His grip brings about a sweet lethargy. You want to cast him aside, but he won't let you free. He can put you to sleep, take your very last breath. He's dealing the cards, and this is your last bet. Oh, die up, my dear, ba da ba dee da bow. Ba do ba do ya da ba dee da re. Do 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 ya da ba dee da da. Ba da ba dee ba ba do 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 ba do dee da da do dee. Yes, there's a big old bear just rooting around, stalking the earth, his nose to the ground. His reach is forever, his desire unbound. Yes, there's a big old bear just rooting around, just rooting around.
And glad that you recovered and are still with us. Okay, Sheila Miller is our next singer, and after Sheila, one from David Diamond, please.
This Thursday would have been the 80th birthday of Ray Fisher, who was one of my favourite singers and a good friend, and I know a friend of various people here. I do sing a couple of her songs. This is one that I've always meant to learn and never quite got around to. Ray referred to it often as a Gaelic anti-apartheid song. So she would have said Gaelic, but as far as I'm concerned, Gaelic is French, so I say Gaelic. Actually, Amanda, I've never sung this before. Would you please not record it, just in case it's completely awful?
Okay, just give me a second. I think that's a shame, but I will obey. I will obey.
Well done, Sheila.
Yeah, I should have just sneaked the recording back on, but never mind.
No, you
Too late
should.
now.
That was
Another time.
great.
Okay, it's David Diamond next, and after David, one from Kate Portal, please.
Okay, I wasn't going to sing this song, but Amanda said she wanted to hear lots of different languages, and I used to sing this a lot here in the colonies as an instructional vehicle for what I told them was the Queen's English, which it isn't, but nevertheless. There is in the chat, I placed a glossary so that the folks who don't recognise every single term of rhyming slang will be able to follow along in this dramatic saga which will now unfold. As she walks along the street on her little plates of meat, with the summer sunshine falling on her golden bonnet fair, bright as angels from the skies were her dark blue mutton pies. In me east and west and Cupid shot a shaft and left it there. She'd a Grecian, I suppose, and of Hampstead Heath to Rose. In her sunny south they glistened like two pretty strings of pearls. Down upon me bread and cheese I did fall and murmur, please be me storm and strife, dear Totty, oh you darlingest of girls. Then a bow wow by her side, who till then had stood and tried a Jenny Lee to banish, which was on his Jonah's whale, gave a hydrophobia bark. She said, what a Noah's Ark, and right through me rankin riches did me cribbage pegs assail. Ere a bow wow I could stop, she had called a ginger pop, who said, what the Henry Neville do you think you're doing there? And I heard as off I slunk, why the fella's Jumbo's trunk, and the Walter Joyce was Totty's with a golden bonnet fair.
There. That is it running slam.
Clever stuff.
It's going to be a very long chat if you write it all that up.
There. It's in there.
Thanks, David. I understand every word. Obviously, I've been in London far too long. So anyway, what did I say was happening next? Did I say Kate Portal was happening next? I think I did. And after
Can you hear
Kate,
me?
it will be one from Brendan Kennedy, please.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm going to sing. That was a lovely song. I have to play it back to myself. Anyway, I'm going to sing a very different song. A few weeks ago, of course, Peggy Seeger came along, and this is a very appropriate song that she wrote. It's also got lovely chorus, which goes like this. Sing about those hard times, sing all about them hard old times, sing about them hard times, when will the good times roll? I worked hard right from the start, that's what I did, I played my part. These hard times are gonna break my heart, when will the good times roll? Sing about those hard times, sing all about those hard old times, sing about those hard times, when will the good times roll? Life gets harder every year. Those who have the least have the most to fear. Those who have the most just don't care. When will the good times roll? Sing about those hard times, sing all about those hard old times, sing about those hard times, when will the good times roll? The corporations got a lot of men on the hill ain't got no more. They worry my life like a dog with home. When will the good times roll? Sing about those hard times, sing all about those hard old times, sing about those hard times, when will the good times roll? They'll move my job to Mexico, where the children slave and the wages low. How I'm gonna live, I just don't know. When will the good times roll? Sing about those hard times. Sing all about those hard old times. Sing about those hard times. When will the good times roll? Oh, this world is ill divided. Those who have the least are the worst provided. And when there's a war, they want us to fight it. When will the good times roll? Sing about those hard times. Sing all about those hard times. Sing about those hard times. When will the good times roll? Sing about those hard times. Sing all about those hard old times. Sing about those hard times. When will the good times roll? I heard that when Sandra Kerr did it for the choir at Sidmouth.
Just on the tape. It's a great song.
Okay, so next we have Brendan Kennedy, and after Brendan, one from Pelagie Crofton, please.
Okay, thank you very much. This is an old song. I think it's a traditional song. I don't know who wrote it. As I rode out on a bright May morning to view the meadows and the flowers gay, whom should I spy but my own true lover, as she sat under a willow tree. I took off my hat and I did salute her. I did salute her most courageously. When she turned around, well, the tears fell from her, saying, "False young man, you have deluded me. A diamond ring you swore you would give to me. A diamond ring to wear on my left hand. But the vow you made, oh, you went and broke it, and married a lassie with gold and land. If I married a lassie with gold and land, my love, it's that I will rue until the day I die. But when gold it shines, sure a man is blinded. And the land my head turned I'll ne'er deny. But at night when I go to my bed of slumber, the thoughts of my true love run in my mind. When I turn around to embrace my darling, instead of gold, sure it's brass I find. And I'm going away now to join the army in the West Indies, America or Spain, and I'll ne'er return to my wedded woman. in hopes that you and I might meet again. And we'll rove out on a bright May morning.
Lovely. Slightly different last verse.
Excellent.
Lovely song, Brendan. Thank you for bringing that. Great stuff. So Pelagie Crofton is next. I never know whether it's Pelagie or Pelagie. You'll have to tell me if it's important to you, and or even if it's not. I'd like to get it right. And after you, it will be one from Mary Hogan, please.
Right. Thanks, Amanda. It's Pelagie. Nice short poem. I'd always wanted a dog, so one day I took in a stray. He didn't want to leave me, and so I called him Stay. I knew it was a mistake the first time I told Stay to go. Go, Stay, and I pointed. Did Stay go? No. Go, Stay, I said, and he started. He was going, then he was not. He looked at me, sad and confused, and his two big eyes said, What? I threw him a stick. I said, Fetch, Stay. He started and stopped, all in one. I never got round to come here, Stay. Stay couldn't come, he'd not gone. He wanted to please, but he couldn't. I spoke, but he just didn't know. So I got him a spaniel for company. I shouldn't have called it Go. I said, Stay, Go, and Go'd stay a second. Then both Stay and Go were away. And I had to shout, Come here, Stay and Go. They were coming and going all day. I said, Stay, Go and stay. I tried, Go, Stay and Go. Nothing seemed to get through. It's not that they were both saying no. They were both saying, Does he mean you? It's all very well in the park, but what if we're stood at the curb? Two lost souls in the dark. Which bloody one is the verb? I've got them a new friend now. I found him, a poor starving wretch. I hope they'll be happy together. Go and stay, come and meet, fetch. That's Stay, Go and Fetch. Les Barker. Thank you.
I'm so confused. Okay, thank you for that, Pelagie. And now one from Mary Hogan, followed by Tom Reed, please.
Hello, everyone. I haven't shaken hands with anyone since February, and I think probably a lot of you haven't done that. So I thought a good song is Kate McGarrigle's "We've Come a Long Way Since We Last Shook Hands." It's also a very wry comment on what it's like if you meet someone that you used to go out with or that you were married to in the past. And sort of irresistibly funny, really, I think. Okay, here I go. We've come a long way since we last shook hands. We still got a long way to go. We couldn't see the flowers when we last shook hands. We couldn't see the flowers on account of the snow. What did you do with your burden and your cross? Did you carry it yourself or did you crack? 'cause we don't know that a burden and a cross can only be carried on one man's back. All of my life I wanted to roam, to go to the ends of the earth, but the earth only ends where we started to roam, and you and I know what a circle is worth. Let's raise a glass to what went down. Pretty well and thanks a lot. I know that we promised to keep in touch, but you and I know that we both forgot. We've come a long way since we last shook hands. We still got a long way to go. We couldn't see the flowers when we last shook hands. We couldn't see the flowers on account of the snow.
I haven't heard that for ages.
Thank you, Mary. I wasn't expecting the instrument happening there out of sight. Good stuff. Okay, Tom Reid is our next performer. Tom will be followed by Jan Ayres, and then we will have Ray McLaughlin, and Ray will close the evening for us. So over to you, Tom.
Thank you, Amanda. Okay, I don't normally inflict this on an audience, but Alice just asked me to sing it. And I apologise, it's a miserable audible shite. A bit of self-indulgence, I think. This is called Broken Glass. Broken glass under my skin cuts me to the bone. Lonely child, lonely child, Mother, take me home. Bless me, Father, I have sinned. Hast thou forsaken me? Nail my hands,
Must be embarrassing.
nail my feet, I would die for thee. Fallen angel, round my bed, twisted lullabies. Lord above, send down your love, mend this broken boy. I see the cross, I hear the choir, I wear the crown of thorns by sacrifice, by blood and fire, I shall be reborn. Broken glass under my feet, everywhere I roam. Lonely man, lonely man, a long, long way from home.
You're right, Tom. That was one of your more miserable songs. Well done. Okay, Jan Ayres is our next singer, and then Ray McLaughlin. I'm sorry I couldn't get everybody on. Quite a lot of people took their hands down, so they also are among those who didn't get onto the list tonight. So there's lots of people outstanding. Obviously, we were never going to get everyone on. Please do come back next time. And in the meantime, it's over to Jan.
A song by Chris Sugden called Confidence. I can't believe you like me. I've got a double chin. I don't know how much longer I can hold my stomach in. My clothes are not in fashion, as anyone can see. So why did you come over here and sit down next to me? I can't believe you like me. I'm really just a mess. You say you're the same age as me, but you look 5 years less. You're witty and you're charming, and you're clearly not unwise. So why do you keep staring and gazing in my eyes? I can't believe you like me. I've had a drop to drink. I'm smoking like a chimney, and you don't smoke, I think. If you said goodbye and left me, I'd surely understand. So why are we two walking back to your place hand in hand? I can't believe you like me. It's such a tiny flat. I'm making conversation, but I'm talking through my hat. And in this brighter light, you can confirm all your doubts. So why are you suggesting that we miss the coffee out? I can't believe you like me. Oh, can't you feel me shake? I know that any moment you'll realize your mistake, and soon you will be hinting that I should disappear. So why are we two kissing, and how come I'm still here? Well, I can't believe you like me, but the sun is rising now. We're talking and we're touching, the night has flown somehow. I can't believe you like me, so how can it be true that you've just whispered in my ear? You can't believe that I like you. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you.
Song, good song.
And thank you. And quite a good song to almost end the evening, but ending the evening is reserved for Ray. Just before he sings, thank you again to everybody who sang, recited, played, clapped. We're here. Obviously to Cohen, who has left us just now. But thank you all for coming, and also to Livy on the mute button, and to David for doing the indexing. And over to you, Ray, to close the evening.
Couldn't remember where I was. I'm supposed to undo it myself still. I couldn't remember. It's been a while since I've been here. This is a Mick Curry song. It's a hell of an age. Puts a man ill at ease, sets his mind in a rage, makes him weak at the knees. When he sees things are changing and he's marking time, his workmates all 20 and he's past his prime. And he longs to go back home to Ireland, for he's tired of the crack and the living is rough. And his 21 years on the buildings has taught him, when you have got nothing, then you've had enough. So he sits in the bar and he smokes his cigar and he boasts how he's never alone. Ah, but I know he's lying, his big heart is breaking. Murphy can never go home. And he reads in the paper of the economic miracles brought by the Yanks and the men from Japan. They're building the blocks of the 21st century. What use have they for a labouring man? Once hard men were heroes, but now they are fools. All the old values uprooted and gone. And when he woke up and found that they changed all the rules, there was nothing to do but keep labouring on. So he sits in the bar and he smokes his cigar and he boasts how he's never alone. Ah, but I know he's lying, his big heart is breaking. Murphy can never go home. And it's a hard, rocky road that first took him to Birmingham, long in the making, with no going back. With writing no letters nor words of his whereabouts, no family at all for to help him keep track. He can sit here all night in no hurry at all, for there's nobody waiting but old Father Time. And as the last rays of Sunday go down on the Brum, a song from his childhood he quietly will rhyme, as he sits in the bar and he smokes his cigar and he boasts how he's never alone. Ah, but I know he's lying, his big heart is breaking. Murphy can never go home. Thank you.
All right.
Song.
As well.
Impression.
And yeah, Father Time is calling. The evening has come to an end. Great to see you all. Hope to see you all again soon, and have a good week. Bye for now.
Thanks to everybody for a wonderful evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Good Thanksgiving to all the Yanks there.
Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.